You're all very welcome, as we've already said, and everybody will say for the morning. Delighted to see so many of you here. I was just saying to Sean and Michael, a couple of colleagues there earlier, that I heard a very interesting quote recently by, I think it was by Sean Lamass, and he said there's a huge amount of time wasted in Ireland by people being on time for meetings. I had to think about that. As a Canadian, that was a real hard one for me to figure out, but I eventually got it. But thank you very much for being on time, for those of you that have made it, because we have a full day, and we are going to get straight into that. I just want to focus for just a moment at the beginning of this conference. We at ICS Skills are always trying to kind of look forward and plan for the next phase and plan for the next things that are the most relevant for our network of centers and whatnot. And you're going to hear a lot about our planning today. You're going to hear about version 6. I need to make sure I get my language right. I've been reminded of that a couple of times this morning as well. You'll understand the relevance of that when Mary speaks. But we in Ireland are facing a time right now, as we all know, of a very difficult time as far as employability is concerned. And we have so many people out of work right now, so many people uncertain in their workplace. And it defines more than ever the necessity of what we do as people that are involved with training. And if we look at some of our programs, well, specifically if we deal with ECDL, because it is the one that most of our centers are engaged with, that's something that we created and has been created. It was created over 16 years ago now. And it was done for the specific purpose of creating a tool to make people fit for work, to make them employable. And that is very much as relevant and more relevant today than it ever was. And what we're trying to do with the evolution of the program is make sure that it maintains its position as something that is preparing people for work. So whether you're doing this in a secondary school, and in a transition year trying to gain the skills at that stage, or whether you're in an unemployed situation trying to gain work again, or whether you're in work and you're just trying to upskill, all of those scenarios point towards trying to give people the skills that are required for work. So I want to emphasize that, because sometimes it gets lost in what it is that we're doing. There's no question about that. We are focused on the digital divide and those people that have and have not digital skills. But the primary focus of specifically the ECDL program and many of our more professional-orientated programs, like our data protection certification, our work now with IVI, with the ITCMF, all of that is about trying to improve people's ability and efficiency at work. So that's kind of the fundamental message I wanted to give it and sort of set the tone for the meeting today, because a lot of what we will be talking about are in that context. So really that's all I wanted to say at this stage. I think 15 years, it always amazes me to be able to stand in front of you to say that we are continuing to grow, we are continuing to be not just relevant but leading as an organization in Ireland around the whole areas of IT literacy. And one of the things that we're working on this year is in addressing this whole area of skills shortage. We are trying to start to work and look at trying to contribute towards the new curriculum that's evolving for computer science, or let's say ICT skills in school, so around coding and some of those sorts of things. We are going to be trying to pilot something in the autumn. And sometimes I think that, again, what gets lost is that some people try to say, well, it's either you should be teaching someone ECDL or we should be teaching them computer science. Of course, the two things are completely different. I mean, ECDL is a tool that is for everybody. It's a computer literacy. It's a baseline literacy that people need, as I just said, to prepare them for work. Computer science and the ability to, say, fill some of the job roles in the IT industry and what we're trying to do there is a very different subset of skills, and very important. Don't get me wrong; both are very important. But sometimes those lines get blurred in some of the media commentary. It's very easy for people to say, "Well, why are we still doing ECDL when, the issue is computer science skills is what we should be going for." The reality is that they're two very different subjects. We in ICS Skills are absolutely supportive of trying to get into the Irish curriculum computer science, because we feel as at a fundamental point, it's a lack of that has led us to the point where we have a skills shortage. So that's something we're emphasizing. But I do want to draw the distinction, and it's something we're going to be trying to do a lot more, because I think sometimes what we're doing with computer literacy gets undermined by what some people are saying aren't being done in those skills shortage areas. So anyway, thanks very much for coming. We're going to be into the conference now, and I'm going to hand back over to Owen. So thanks very much for your time, and for coming today, for making the effort to get here. It's something we never take for granted, and hopefully we'll all enjoy the day. Thanks very much.